Hello there, good evening. Welcome to Look North. Our top story tonight. Snow and ice causes widespread disruption across our region. Hundreds of schools stay shut on the first day of the term.
It's been quite treacherous. The snow is melting, but unfortunately that comes with new challenges as well with the water that we're seeing on the roads.
So as the snow melts and temperatures plummet, people are being warned to look out for flooding and black ice. Meanwhile, flights start to return to normal after snow on the runway at Leeds Bradford Airport left many passengers stranded. Also tonight, the trial of a man charged with murdering teenager Jamie Mee in Leeds begins as 3 other suspects are still wanted by police. Taking fear out of MRIs, a new children's app is trialled at Leeds General Infirmary to help young patients.
Apart from a few wintry showers in the next 12 to 24 hours, the emphasis is on a lot of dry weather this week, but with widespread ice. Temperatures really falling sharply by night. Join me for that week ahead forecast.
Hello there, it's lovely to be back with you for my first programme of 2025. First tonight, there has been widespread disruption across our region today following snow over the weekend, with warnings of icy conditions to come in the next few days. At least 450 schools were closed or partially closed, delaying the start of the new school term. Several flights at Leeds Bradford Airport were delayed, diverted or cancelled last night, although airport bosses now say things are getting back to normal. And a number of roads were flooded as the snow melted, with around 30 warnings and alerts still in place across Yorkshire and the North Midlands. Ollie Constable joins us live from Chesterfield tonight. Ollie, it looks like the snow has gone where you are, but how is it?
Well, a few hours ago, if you'd been with us and standing in the middle of the road behind us, you'd have been waist deep in water. That snow that fell early this morning and yesterday starting to melt away and turn to flooding. That has been the story of the day here in what has been a very disruptive last 48 hours. It's been a tough couple of days for our region. Yesterday, snow made driving, like here in the north of the county, very difficult. Side roads thick with snow and cars abandoned on main roads. This was in Leeds as young people rallied together to help push a bus.
High five! High five!
Today, kids are enjoying an extra day's holiday. A new school term delayed because of hundreds of school closures and people struggling to go back to work. In Sheffield, it's been a chance for snowboarder Alex to hone his skills, with his school being closed. A day of sledging for the kids and parents too. The snow is slowly going, but for now, there's flooding. This was in Gleedless in Sheffield, a water pump too late to save this car. In Hillsborough, it's the story of the day. Lots of surface water, with there being driving delays all across the network. In Chesterfield, melting snow into already full rivers means roads are shut again. But some cars are still trying to get through. Well, behind me is the A617 Hornsbridge roundabout. That road towards the M1 motorway has been shut since this morning because of that thawing snow. The nearby River Hipper swollen with water. Well, earlier we spoke to one local resident who had come down to have a look at the amount of water that was now blocking the road.
It's not a surprise at all. You were expecting it, and I mean, when they said it was going to thaw, it was going to be quite obvious it was going to flood, particularly under here, but didn't realise how bad it was. It's really bad.
Derbyshire County Council has asked people to only travel if they absolutely have to, with a number of key roads being closed.
We've had a challenging weather situation across the county over the last few days, both in High Peak and in Buxton. We've had some quite severe snow and ice challenges. And then in North East Derbyshire and Chesterfield in particular, the sort of snow and ice has melted, but then we've had quite significant rainfall, which has sadly caused some flooding issues and led to some quite major road closures, particularly in the centre of Chesterfield this morning.
And roads like the A617 towards the M1 still closed. The water has gone down from what we saw earlier in that report. but you can still see that it's closed and it should be reopening in the next couple of hours. A number of flood warnings still in place across Derbyshire, Wakefield, Castleford and York as well.
Thank you. It's been a long day for you. Get home safe. Well, there were some dramatic wintry scenes on higher grounds in North and West Yorkshire too, along with disruption on the roads, rail and planes. Kathy Killick reports.
The snowploughs were out bright and early for the return to work, but for many, the Christmassy weather prolonged their break. Digging out cars was the first job of the day for lots of us. Electrician Ian Turner was trapped at home in North Rigton.
I got up at 5:30 to check the car and it was covered in snow. It was right up to the bumper and all the way down. So I was working in Halifax, so it was impossible to get out this morning. So I'm cleaning it today, getting ready for tomorrow.
Out on the roads, cars abandoned yesterday littered many A roads. This was in Leeds. And there was plenty of evidence of more serious mishaps. A collision near Harrogate where branches weighed down with snow hung over the road. Side streets were choked with snow, although main routes cleared throughout the day.
It's been quite treacherous, as you can see, with the snow and ice that's on there at the minute. The snow is slowly melting with the gritters that have been around this area. They've been fantastic, so the snow is melting. But unfortunately, that comes with new challenges as well with the water that we're seeing on the roads.
Well, this is likely to be the problem next. Snow melt causing flooding on the roads, causing aquaplaning. It's extremely dangerous. And if it freezes, black ice, which is even more hazardous. The next few days are not going to be pretty.
Escaping the weather for warmer climes wasn't without its problems. Takeoffs have now resumed at Leeds Bradford Airport, but many flight schedules have been knocked off kilter, with cancellations, delays and diverted flights affecting hundreds of passengers. At Britain's highest pub, the Tanhill Inn, patrons were snowed in, perhaps not entirely unexpectedly.
We've had snow for the last 2 days constantly now, and got snow drifting around about 6 or 7 foot. We've got 32 guests, 6 staff stranded here.
They've been looking after us. We've had some lovely meals, nice drink.
Everybody's happy. They've got plenty of beer behind the staff. And they're very friendly staff.
On higher roads in the Dales, there was only so far you could go with snowdrifts blocking routes, horsepower giving way to people power. But the hills were paradise for children gifted with a bonus day off school. 4-year-old Hugo was in his element and loving every minute.
I bumped off.
You're okay there, weren't you?
My sister over here, she went down and she did 2 spins and then flew off. It was really funny. My brother threw a snowball at me and then I went off. Yeah.
It's been a memorable day for many reasons and lots of snowy scenes to enjoy. But there's a cost to snowy weather, with many businesses closed, while the gritters work overtime to ready the roads for tomorrow, amid warnings of serious ice overnight. Kathy Killick, BBC Look North.
Well, he's certainly been in demand today. Paul is with us. Is it what we expected?
Well, I'm delighted to say, it's very rare to get a snow forecast that right. And I'm not coming here to blow my own trumpet, but really, but that amber warning was in place at the end of last week. Even the timing from 9 o'clock Saturday night, most places got 5 to 10 centimetres, other places over the hills got more. But in my experience, actually, it's nothing to do with how much snow falls. It's when it falls. And obviously the disruption would have been far worse if that snowfall had been during the week, Monday to Friday. In the past, we've had 1 centimetre of snow on a Monday tea time and the whole place is ground to a halt. So it's about when it falls. So really the disruption could have been a lot worse if it had been during the week.
And are we expecting more disruption?
Well, ice is going to be a real problem. It's going to be a proper big freeze this week. Maybe Thursday morning, some places might be down to -10. So it's largely dry, a few wintry showers in the short term, but it's dry and very, very cold.
Yeah, so be careful on those roads. Paul, thank you. He will, of course, be back at the end of the programme with that important forecast. And we saw in those pieces, didn't we, that some people have been getting really stuck in to help push vehicles out of trouble. If you've got stories of people who've gone above and beyond to help during the bad weather, then do get in touch with us, give them a shout out. You can email us at look.north@bbc.co.uk, message us on WhatsApp, or you can find us on social media too. There's a QR code there to take you straight to WhatsApp. You are watching Monday's Look North, still to come on tonight's programme. After a serious riding accident, Olympic medalist Nicola Wilson launches a new career as a coach as she celebrates receiving an MBE. We're going to look at some stories away from the weather now. A trial has heard that a teenager was murdered in Leeds in a barbaric attack as part of a dispute between drug gangs. 18-year-old Jamie Mead was stabbed to death after being dragged out of a taxi in Armley. 23-year-old Ranai Wilkes denies his murder. Our Home Affairs correspondent Emma Glasby sent this report from Leeds Crown Court.
The court heard today that Jamie, Mia and another teenager had been in a taxi in Leeds dealing drugs when they were both dragged out of the taxi by a gang of men in Armley. One witness told police he then saw a sword being pulled out of a sheath. What followed was described by the prosecutor, Mr. Shafi KC, as a vicious, brutal and barbaric attack that left 18-year-old Jamie dead and the other teenager seriously injured. Now, we heard that Jamie was able to run away. He was able to tell someone that he needed an ambulance, but he then died in the street from catastrophic bleeding from his thigh. The prosecution alleges that 4 men are jointly responsible for Jamie's murder. Ranai Wilkes, who is on trial here in Leeds, but also Caleb Orr, Akwe Jeffers and Inam Nishat. The court was told that all 4 men were so desperate to flee after the murder that they travelled by ferry to Ireland the next day. They were arrested in Ireland on suspicion of theft, but they were released by the Garda, the Irish police officers, who were unaware of what had happened in Leeds. Now, Ranai Wilkes was arrested at Leeds Bradford Airport last year after getting off a flight from Turkey. The other 3 suspects remain at large. Mr. Wilkes denies murder and attempted murder. His defence barrister, Miss Blackwell Casey, said that he had no knowledge of a knife and he definitely didn't use it. His trial is expected to last for 2 weeks.
The body of a man has been found in an area of flooding in Beal near Nottingley. North Yorkshire police say he didn't have any identification or personal belongings with him. He was wearing a multicoloured jacket similar to this one and is thought to have been in his 50s or 60s. Police think he entered the water within the last 24 to 48 hours. Anyone who can help has been asked to contact the force. A former Bradford Bulls player who was due in court today to face a rape charge has fled the country. 25-year-old Kevin Appo is also charged with sexual assault and 2 counts of assault. Bradford Crown Court heard he was given conditional bail in November but boarded a flight to Dubai just hours later before travelling to his home country of Papua New Guinea. Prosecutors say an extradition process is now underway. He was sacked by the Rugby League club after he was charged. Bus services have returned to Bradford Interchange a year after it closed due to structural problems. Around 80% of all services are operating into the bus station, with more expected to follow in April. The interchange had to close after a piece of concrete fell from the roof of an underground car park. West Yorkshire Combined Authority says it wants to replace the structure, but it'll take 5 years of planning. OK, well, it's time for sport now. Sally is here. It's good to see you, Sally. Bit cold to be running around in football shorts though, isn't it?
Yes, and we did have a couple of fixtures cancelled yesterday, most of them on Saturday though, thankfully. Let's start with football, shall we? And after 3 championship games without a win, Sheffield United triumphed with a 2-1 victory over Watford. It was 1-1 at the break before Andre Brooks fired home their second half winner to get the Blades promotion push back on track. Some gymnastic celebrations for him, whilst manager Chris Wilder looked overcome with relief as his team got back to winning ways. Elsewhere in the Championship, top of the table Leeds drew 3-3 with relegation fighters Hull City after squandering a 2-goal lead, and Sheffield Wednesday also drew in another eventful game, 2-2 there with Millwall. Now in League One, Barnsley had a convincing 3-0 victory over Crawley. There were goals from John Russell, Max Waters and this from Davis Keylord-Dunn. The Tykes are 5th in the table, just below Huddersfield, who had a goalless draw with Rotherham. Meanwhile, in League Two, there was a crucial 3-1 victory for Bradford over fellow playoff chasers Grimsby. 2 of the Bantams' goals came in added time in the first half, and then this was their third, a driving run from Alex Pattison and a shot that flicked just off the post. Bradford are just 1 point outside the playoff places. And towards the bottom of League Two, Harrogate ended their 6-game winless streak with a 2-0 victory over Barrow. Goals in quick succession from Jack Muldoon and this from Joss March, giving the Sulphurites a vital boost to their survival hopes. Elsewhere in League Two, Doncaster Rovers lost and Chesterfield's game was postponed due to the snow. Now, the Olympic event rider Nicola Wilson says her MBE is for everyone who's helped her to recover after a life-changing accident. She was named in the New Year's honours list for services to sport, but she had to give up riding 2 years ago after a fall at the badminton horse trials led to spinal injuries. Now, though, she's forging a new career, helping other riders to reach their potential. I went to see her at her equestrian centre near Northallerton.
A fabulous rider for the team, hasn't she, for the rider from North Yorkshire?
Oh, yes. It was a highly successful eventing career that took Nicola Wilson all over the world. She won a silver medal at the London Olympics and was European individual champion. But this year, being awarded the MBE came as a complete surprise.
Well, disbelief, to be honest, and I wasn't sure whether it was for real or not. But oh gosh, it's such an incredible honour. I feel incredibly humbled and just so lucky and fortunate to be included.
It's a little more than 2 years since Nicola fell from her horse during the badminton horse trials. She sustained serious spinal injuries and spent months in hospital.
When it all goes horribly wrong one day, you never plan for sort of disasters like that, and to be in a hospital bed and being paralysed from the neck down over, not being able to swallow, breathe, or do anything, you sort of think, where is life going to go from here? How is this going to pan out? I just prayed that I would be able to walk again, that I'd be able to have a quality of life with my husband, and that I'd be able to earn a living. And how incredibly fortunate that I can do those 3 things. Ride 1 rhythm, 1 balance. Better. Good.
And now she's forging ahead with a new career as a coach.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've always enjoyed coaching anyway, and as I said, so many people have helped support and coach me over the years to help me realise my dream, and it's so lovely to be a very small part of other riders' dreams and hopefully making them come true too.
Do you ever stop and reflect how far you've come?
I often stop and think, wow, how lucky am I? I'm so lucky. This MBE isn't really just for me. This is for everybody that has helped me get, have the success that I had with the horses. Then through my recovery, the doctors, the nurses, the occupational therapists, the physios, and then your friends. This MBE is for those people that actually reach out and go, we're here to help if we can.
Wonderful to catch up with Nicola there. What a woman.
Oh, she is, and so good to see her back on her feet again. Thanks, Sally. Now, if you've ever had an MRI scan, then you'll know that it can be really intimidating. The procedure, which creates detailed images of inside the body, takes place in a confined space. Now, the scan's really noisy. You have to keep really still so that they can get good pictures. So for young children, as you can imagine, it can be really scary. But now academics have developed this. It's a new app which will help children learn what to expect before their scan. It's been trialled at Leeds General Infirmary, and Olivia Richwald has been to see how it all works.
You can have pink.
Isabella is just 6. She's come to LGI today for an MRI scan on her head. She has no idea what to expect, but there are staff here to prepare her.
It's a daunting experience. It's a really big camera. It's very, very noisy, so lots of children struggle with the fact that it is so loud. It's a very scary experience for most children, especially if they haven't had one before or they haven't seen the MRI machine before.
So you're going to go in there? Have you ever seen one of those before?
Isabella is one of the first young patients to try a new app designed to make MRI scans less scary.
Control room is where the MRI pictures can be seen.
The app has been developed by Leeds Beckett University, who hope that if successful, it could be rolled out to many more hospitals.
That's what you might hear in the scanner. How does that make you feel? Is it quite loud? Is it a bit annoying?
We want to improve the care of a child during the waiting time, to help them understand their role better, to help them understand what is expected of them. And we are also investigating the possibility of using an app like Exploros, if that could reduce anticipatory pre-procedural anxiety, if it would take some of the worry away and make them feel better.
Children create their own avatar and navigate around an MRI room. They also meet some of the staff.
I am an anaesthetist.
And afterwards there are body-themed games to enjoy. After an hour of preparation, Isabella and Rochelle make the short walk to the MRI room. And after a bit of gentle encouragement, Isabella proves she's really brave.
She's on the scanner now, and I have no worries that she won't complete the scan.
Afterwards, Isabella takes part in a survey to see if the game helped.
Isabella, how do you feel now? Good, amazing, high five. You were very brave, weren't you?
We've had really good feedback. Through data collection, we've seen that it has made a big improvement in the child's anxiety scores before and after. So we found that this app has really helped to reduce worries and fears before going into the scan.
The trial continues. The academics studying it believe it has great potential to help many more children. Olivia Richwald, BBC Look North, Leeds.
Take a look at this. It's finally arrived. 2025 is set to be Bradford's year as it officially takes up the title of UK City of Culture. We're going to have loads of coverage of the launch event this Friday. But in the meantime, magic shows have been popping up across locations around the city. Here's a look at what's been happening at Barker End Family Hub.
Is everybody ready to party? I can't hear you. Are you ready to party? Well, let's find out what we like. Put your hands up if you like magic.
It's been really good. They've all enjoyed it. We've had a sing and a dance. We've had some food. We've all enjoyed it. Yeah.
Things like this is what brings people together, the community together, and I feel like Bradford, no matter what culture you are, what race you are, everybody comes together. The community all stick together.
A lot of the families haven't been able to get to pantomime and wouldn't be able to do this kind of thing together otherwise, and it's really brilliant to bring them this kind of bit of magic and a bit of joy. And this is what Bradford City of Culture is about. It's about bringing the culture to people.
Ah! What are you doing? Watch!
It means we'll have more stuff going on, everybody getting together, enjoying themselves. All the kids will be learning instead of just dossing around on the streets, so it should be good.
Bradford, yay! Bradford, yay!
Exciting stuff on the way in Bradford. Another story for you before we head to the weather. If you have been contemplating a new job with the new year, how about this for an opportunity? RSPB Bempton Cliffs on the Yorkshire coast is looking for someone to live among the seabirds for a minimum of 4 months. Yes, it's really a job. Over 250,000 breeding seabirds return each year to nest on the cliffs, and the RSPB is looking for a residential volunteer. You'll be given accommodation and paid expenses. I think you've got to like solitary life for that, haven't you? You'll be absolutely Baltic there.
I love that. Oh, what?
Would you get yourself
in summer?
off?
It's fine. Oh, you're trying to get rid of me. Charming. Anyway, I've got.
No, we need you tonight. What's going on?
Right. Okay. Well, we'll start with some pictures because for most of us this weekend, it's been a fun time, hasn't it? And this was one of the hills, many hills in Sheffield, which was covered in sledges. And I thought the next picture was really, really pretty. It's almost like an iconic Yorkshire view there of Hebden Bridge. Absolutely beautiful. So keep the pictures coming in. You sent us loads. There's more after my forecast, but we couldn't get through them all. But they're greatly appreciated. If you've got more addresses out on your screen right now. So the main theme of the forecast this week is the intensity of the cold. So we'll have ice warnings all through the week. By the middle of the week, temperatures struggling to get above freezing point by day, and some spots could be as low as -10, for example, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Now, the jet stream steering the mild, unsettled weather Further to the south across France and Spain, we remain in the deep freeze all week. Eventually, we'll get milder air in, but probably not until the end of next weekend. So it is a proper cold snap this week. Now, at the moment, the radar's suggesting the showers are just offshore. So apart from the odd snow shower across the Peak District, it's dry at the moment. We may well see a few wintry showers slipping back into the West and South Yorkshire Pennines later tonight, but most of us will be dry. Obviously, a lot of moisture, slush around, so there's going to be a lot of ice, pavements and roads down to -4, -5 across the Yorkshire Dales. So tomorrow's high water time, Scarborough 9:40, Bridlington at 10:09. So west-east split tomorrow. I think western areas, yes, some sunshine, but always a risk of a scattering of wintry showers, some rain, sleet and snow in those showers, some sunshine in between. Further east, it's dry and sunny. Bit more of a breeze tomorrow, so it will feel cold out of doors. We're looking at highest temperatures coming in at just 3 Celsius. That is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Looking further ahead then into the middle of the week, well, if you like the sort of Arctic cold, well, Wednesday through to Friday is beautiful with blue sky and sunshine, but look at these maximum daytime temperatures really struggling to get above freezing point by night. I think the coldest night will be Wednesday night into Thursday morning, some spots where you've got snow cover down to -10. Then a recovery in temperatures over the weekend, a lot of cloud mistiness, but eventually 5 degrees by Monday of next week. That's the forecast.
Get your hot water bottles out, get your thermals on, and do be careful if you're out on those roads travelling. Now, as Paul said, it has been absolutely glorious for those who've enjoyed playing in the snow over the weekend. So we're going to leave you with some of those happy, smiley shots from across our region.
What do you love about the snow?
That you get hot chocolate after.
It's a new world record.
How was that? What do you think of sledge?